President Biden is set to meet with his supply chain disruption task force along with CEOs of major corporations, including FedEx and Gap. Edward Lawrence will have any headlines from that event. And now that during his speech, President Biden also said he is still hoping to get a version of Build Back Better passed. Listen.
Some people think maybe I'm not Irish because I don't hold a grudge. Look, I want to get things done. I still think there's a possibility of getting Build Back Better done. Senator Manchin and I are going to get something done.
As of now, Senator Manchin has not responded. He is still a no on that bill. Let's check the futures. And as we do that, we bring in David Nicholas. All right, we got a GDP report backwards looking, 2.3% growth in the third quarter, down from 6.7 in the quarter before that. Okay, so it almost doesn't matter because now we're stuck with Omicron and how that impacts the market. We don't know, David. We had a sell-off the past couple of days and a rebound yesterday. So did we hit the bottom? Was yesterday the turn back up, if you will?
Lauren, I do. I think the market is telling us that the bottom is in. I mean, just to keep things in perspective, the S&P 500 is only down 2% from its all-time high. So from an index standpoint, I mean, that's nominal. At worst, it's just noise. And there's been a lot of analysts that say, well, we need the market to sell off 10% for it to be meaningful. But Lauren, we've already seen that. There are hundreds of companies in the S&P 500 that are down 10 to 20% right now. But it's being shielded because you have some of these big names that are really making up a lot of the return for the market. There's 5 names that have made up 50% of the returns for the S&P 500 since April: Microsoft, Google, Apple, NVIDIA, and Tesla. You take those 5 names out of the S&P 500, it's a pretty ugly market for the year. So this is why I don't expect any more selling going into the end of the year. There's been a lot of bad news, like you said, with Omicron. You got interest rates. But there's a lot of positive news. Earnings that continue to beat expectations. There's a low risk of recession. Real and nominal rates are expected to rise, but still remain low. To me, that is a perfect setup for stocks in 2022.
Let's talk about corporate earnings, though, because not a lot of people expected that we were going to be hit with another wave of COVID-19. And the supply chains, they're already messed up. Should this turn out to be really bad, can companies continue to pass on those higher costs to consumers, and consumers will just say, oh, okay, or are corporate balance sheets at risk here?
Yeah, great question, Lauren. So our firm, we looked at during the 70s, what did corporate earnings do when we had high inflation? Remember the Jimmy Carter days? And you know what? Corporate earnings rose at the same time as inflation. So as prices went up, as inflation rose, as prices went up, earnings went up as well. And guess what? The market followed. So, if Omicron COVID gets really bad, obviously we're going to see some effect in earnings. But I don't think the pricing issue is a big issue for the markets, especially these large companies. They have pricing power. That's going to show up in earnings, and that's going to also show up as the market heads higher because of those higher earnings.
Your whole message on the market is positive, David, so give us a quick 20-second story about you, your family, and the holidays.
Well, thank you, Lauren. We've got 3 beautiful, 2 girls and our son. We're excited for this Christmas together. Last year with COVID, so many of us didn't get to celebrate with our family. We've got all of our family coming together. We're excited. We're grateful for what this season means. We're grateful for that Jesus came and he died and he was born on this day, and we're grateful for that. And Lauren, what an amazing country we live in. I was driving the other day, just grateful to be in this wonderful country with the freedoms that we have. I'm very hopeful about our future.
And let's not have them taken away. David, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to your family.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Lauren.
Well,